Today's going to be a story time of how I lost 155 pounds. Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you don't know who I am, hi, my name is Brianna. I am 27 years old and I'm brand new to YouTube. Just started a YouTube about 2 days ago. So this page is a little messy at the moment, but I'm getting there. Again, I'm also wanted to mention on here, this is all being done on my phone. I literally have been doing this on my phone, so for me. Today's going to be a story time, but before I get there, notice my different background. I am at work right now, so if you do like this kind of background, let me know. Where was I? But today's going to be a story time of how I lost 155 pounds. I did a poll on my Instagram and on TikTok asking you guys what you wanted to see today for today's content, and it was either a get ready with me or story time. And if you know me personally, or if you've been following me for a while, you know that I have stories for days. Like, it's almost unbelievable the stuff that I've been through. Today is going to be a little special one for me because it is still kind of recent and new. For those who don't know, and this is a whole different story time, so just let me know if you guys want to hear this story, but I was in 3 foster homes. I was taken away from my mom when I was 11, and I got placed with my cousin, who I no longer speak to, from 11 to 17, almost 18 years old. As soon as I moved out, I moved to Tallahassee, Florida, and throughout those 11 to 17 years of my life, from 11 to 17 years old.
Not 17 years.
Okay, anyways, I was very sheltered. I didn't really have a lot of freedom, and I wasn't allowed to go to parties with friends. I wasn't allowed to experiment. I wasn't allowed to do all the things that a lot of my friends got to do in high school. Going into college, they didn't really feel the need to try it, and I was just starting to try all of those things, meaning drugs, alcohol, experimenting with, women and men, because I didn't know if I even liked women. I never got to experience any of these things. So when I went to college, I was getting out of like a 5 to 6 year relationship with somebody, and
I decided to go batshit crazy.
No, but in all seriousness, I really didn't understand balance. And I started partying a lot, drinking a lot. I went from not drinking at all to drinking almost every single day. Something else that happened to me in those years, so at 20 to 20, well, I was like 20 years old. 20 years old. I had another experience, scary experience, which is another story time. So I did end up having a really large surgery that landed me into a really deep depression, where I was bedridden for a little bit, and I started doing antidepressants. And that was the worst decision I've ever made. I literally think that, in my personal opinion, I think antidepressants are the devil, and I don't like to be controlled by a pill. So that caused me to start acting out of normalcy. Is that a word? Started eating really bad. I would sit at home all day and just eat and eat and eat and eat. And it caught up with me, and I gained almost 200 pounds in 1 year. Yeah, that's what I said. Almost 200 pounds in 1 year. I'm 5'5", so I'm pretty short. I've always naturally been about 125 to 135. And then I went all the way up to almost 300 pounds. So I always tell people that we all have many breaking points and breakthroughs before we actually have the large breaking point where you actually make change. Now, in the process of having these mini breakdowns and stuff, is you learn little things, but you're not quite there yet. And let me explain. I would have little things that happen to me. You have to understand, guys, I've always been a very lean person, and it's totally different for someone that's very happy in their skin and very confident in their skin and loves the way that they look. Because honestly, image really doesn't matter, but at the same time, it kind of does. If you're not happy with the way you look, how are you supposed to be happy with someone else and give them reassurance and give them happiness? I mean, if you don't even like the way that you look or feel, I just don't think I think that's toxic. So I was one of those people that I just did not like the way I looked or felt. I couldn't wear the tank tops I wanted to wear. Even though I could, I felt like I couldn't. I couldn't go to the bars and wear the dresses I used to wear. I used to go into bikini contests and win and kill it. And, At this point in my life, there was no way you would ever see me in a bikini. I wore leggings and long sleeve shirts like this for 6 years. I'm only wearing it today because it's cold outside, okay? But I swear to God, one day I had gone to a bar with a bunch of friends, and I had some kind of confidence to put on a long high skirt. Like, it was like a high-waisted long skirt, pencil skirt, and I wore it with like a black crop top that didn't really show any skin. It was just like a two-piece set. And I went to the bar, and this guy was extremely intoxicated, and he called me a fat bitch.
Fat bitch.
And he started making Stairmaster movements, and I literally did nothing to this man. I was completely minding my own business. And in that moment, that was the first time I've ever been called fat in public. And so that was a mini breakthrough. You would think that would be like a breakdown for me, and in that moment it felt like it, but I still wasn't ready, because the very next week I continued to eat bad and I continued to drink. The biggest one for me though was January 3rd of last year, my birthday. I was going to go visit a friend in Oregon that I have met online. She's one of my best friends now. And what's up, Michelle? Love you. And I like to dress up at the airport. I like to look nice at the airport, because my favorite thing to do is go sit down at restaurants and meet people while I'm waiting for my flight and socialize, and you know. And I sat down at this bar, and I remember I was wearing like boots, like heel boots, and I couldn't walk across the terminal that was like only about a mile without being out of breath. And I was just turning 26 years old last year, obviously, so I was completely shocked, because I've always been an active woman. I've always been active in sports and all that kind of good stuff. So it was shocking to me, and it actually really made me sad. So I went to the bathroom, and I remember just bawling my eyes out, and I told myself that day that like I was going to enjoy myself at this weekend for my birthday. I was going to drink all I wanted, eat all I want, but as soon as I got back from that trip, I told myself, Bree, you're not going to drink, you're not going to eat bad, and you're going to get your shit together, and we're going to find yourself again. But this time was different. Like, this breakthrough was different for me, because I knew and felt in my heart that I meant it. And I remember getting down in the airplane seat, and I could barely fit in the airplane seat. I felt like I was in the way for people in the rows. Like, you know, when they sit down next to you and you're just like squished, I felt like I shouldn't be on the plane. The major reason of my weight gain was the alcohol I was drinking, because I was drinking wine and a lot of sugary drinks, and then of course the alcohol would lead to the bad eating habits, and then I didn't understand portion control. So that's why I decided to give up alcohol. I'm not saying everybody needs to do this to lose weight, but for me that was one of my major issues with gaining the weight. I got back on that plane is when it started. I did not drink for 7 months, and for a lot of y'all who know me personally, and during that time especially, know that that is a huge accomplishment for me, because I was drinking about 6 days a week. I would only eat fast food when I would be hungover the next day, or if I was drunk the night of, you know. But because I gave up alcohol completely, I didn't really feel like I didn't want those foods. So I started just eating like healthy foods, grilled chicken, veggies. That's always been my go-to anyways. So after that, I kept going, and that's what I mean by I went 7 months, and it wasn't a plan to do 7 months. I just genuinely was feeling really good. My skin was never better. I felt good. I felt happy and energized. I was never tired. I was going to bed really early, which was really big for me, because I used to go to bed at like midnight every night. Stay up until 2 in the morning sometimes drinking, and I realized like the first week my body was exhausted, and it wasn't because I wasn't sleeping right, but it was because all the alcohol I was drinking. It's almost like my body was detoxifying itself a little bit. Started going to bed naturally at like 8 p.m., which is crazy. 7:30 I was in bed and ready to go to sleep, and my weight just started dropping. I started at like 290 pounds, and by the first month I dropped 25 pounds, and then I'm like, oh wow. And then I started getting more motivated, because I started recording my progress on TikTok. So I started making before and after TikToks. Every month I would take, or every week, honestly, I started out every week taking a progress photo, and putting them side by side to see the difference, which I personally think progress photos are extremely important with losing weight, because sometimes you don't feel like you actually look. Like, you know, if you look in the mirror, you see yourself every day. You don't realize the progress you're making sometimes. Every month I would check my inches, and not the scale. I would check my inches with an actual, you know, measuring thing. And from there, I would actually re-enter my numbers into this calculator, and I would calculate on how much I should be eating at that weight, because I was losing 2 to 4 pounds. I never plateaued, you guys. In 11 months, I have never plateaued. So every month I would just track my progress and my numbers, and I would write down on my notepad in my phone all of the calories I was containing every single day. Once you find out your caloric number, the rest is super easy. Now, I always thought meal prepping was hard. It's actually so simple. What I did was I got just 6 Tupperwares of 3 divider Tupperwares, and I got basic keto foods. That's how I was able to do it, because I wanted to eat healthy foods at first and be kind of strict about it. So I got, what I would do is to do like 1 cup of brown rice, and then I would do, 4 to 8 ounces of chicken, grilled chicken or ground turkey or any type of protein, and then I would have like a 3/4 of a veggie. And I did that, and I'm a creature of habit, so I can eat the same thing every single day. I don't get bored of it until about the 3rd or 4th month. So I was doing that. I would mix it up with different seasonings and all that, and I would start by every other day I would fast. So like the first day, I would do I'd wake up in the morning, go to the gym. I always did morning gym sessions. I would wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, go to the gym, come back. I would like to fast while I work out, so I burn more fat. I would eat my breakfast meal, which would be like, I do those little mini sausages, and I would just do like 3 of those, because it's 200 calories for 3 links. And I would do that with like an ounce of blueberries and whatever your heart desires, honestly, because you just went to the gym, you're going to burn it off a lot faster. And I would always wait like 4 hours in between meals to eat. So then I would have 2 other meals for the rest of the day. I wouldn't eat until about 10 or 11 for my snack, and my snack would usually be like fruits and veggies, like so blueberries or strawberries or whatever, ounce of blueberries, ounce of strawberries, whatever you want to do, mix it all up. And my first big meal would be around like 2 to 3 p.m. and I would have what I just mentioned earlier, the cup of brown rice, the grilled chicken, and the veggie. And then when I go home, my last meal would be at 7 p.m. I would not eat past 7 o'clock, and I would either have like a protein shake or whatever. It depended on how much I ate that day, but I was eating around the same thing. So usually it'd be like a protein shake for dinner. I didn't eat after 7, no matter what, because I was going to bed early. So I wanted to burn off that fat while I was sleeping, and then I'd wake up and do the same thing. But then every other day I would do intermittent fasting, which is basically I would do the 16-8 method, which is 16 hours of fasting and 8 hours of eating. So the times didn't change for me, because I basically trained myself to do it anyways, and I didn't even mean to do it. So once I realized that 16-8 was, I can do it, by going to bed at, not eating after 7 and waking up and not eating until noon or 11 a.m., I was able to do that because I was already doing it. So every other day I would intermittent fast, and it just started flying off. And then I just kept going, and I just stayed consistent with it. And then about my 4th month in is when I really started working out. Like I got a trainer and I started doing strength training. Strength training is really important. You burn a lot of fat a lot faster. And I just never missed a day. And from there, as time progressed, like by the 6th or 7th month, I was starting to get a little bit more lenient with what I was eating, because I kind of knew portion control at this point, because I got myself a food scale off of Amazon. And those are super easy, you guys. All you do is literally just put the food on the scale and it weighs it for you. And I would do it by ounces, and it would just keep me in control. And then by the 7th month, I just knew how much an ounce was. You know what I mean? It's honestly really simple. I just went to tccalculator.net. And it takes you straight to that calculator. You'll just put in your information. Don't lie to the calculator. It'll give you accurate results. And put your activity to light exercise, because that gives you more of a fluctuation between how you do your numbers. So every month, even if I was heavily exercising, I always put light exercise, because it would give you a higher number to work with. So even if you did eat less than that, it's okay, because you're technically cheating the system a little bit. With time, I really highly recommend lowering your strictness on yourself, because what happens is when you start to get too strict, it becomes like punishment. And I just did not ever want to feel like I had to punish myself to lose weight. So that's what's been happening, and that's how I lost all the weight. And it's just till this day I'm still doing the same thing. I'm not working out 5 to 6 days a week, but I am, you know, working out 1 to 2 days a week. And then I started doing boxing, so I do boxing about 2 days a week as well. So I am doing a total of 4 days a week, but I'm doing it more on my time, and it's not feeling like it has to be a ritual or a routine. It's just what I enjoy doing. I enjoy waking up now in the morning and going to work out. Don't really have a good day without it. Boxing has been a huge release for me, mentally and most definitely physically. So that is how I lost 155 pounds. I always tell people, anybody can do it. Anybody can do it. You just really have to set your mind to something, and you have to really want it bad enough. Because what happens is people that aren't ready will always find an excuse. And when you're ready, an excuse is never an option. You will figure it out. I didn't have a clue on how to lose weight. I made it happen by going onto YouTube, doing my own research. Even if I didn't understand anything, I wrote down different types of diets, and from there I figured out what worked best for me. It's all trial and error, and sometimes you can try something and hate it and then realize, okay, this isn't for me, and go on to the next thing. If you're cheating, if you find yourself cheating on diets and not staying with it, one, it's probably not for you. And two, you might not be ready yet, and that's okay. Everybody will reach a breaking point at some point if you're trying to lose weight. And you just gotta let your mind do that for you and let yourself naturally get there. Because I promise when you're ready, you will make it happen. So that's my story on how I lost 155 pounds. I am currently, right now, I am 175. My goal is 140, and I plan on getting there very quickly. This has been a little bit harder, obviously, as you start to get in the 100s. You don't really lose as quickly. I've been losing about 2 pounds a week now. I don't really lose 4 pounds anymore. I could if I really wanted to. I'd have to be strict on myself again, but I really rather not punish myself, like I said. So I'm enjoying myself. I'm having a good time. And yeah, so any other questions? If you really like this video, please give it a comment down below, a like, and subscribe. That really does make a huge difference, you guys. My first video had way more response than I expected. You know, it takes, I think it's like 4K in watch time to be able to get monetized, and at least 1,000 subscribers, and we're almost at 600 subscribers, and I'm almost at 2K watch time. So that's off of one video, and I just can't thank you guys enough. So I will be doing story times, get readies with me. I'm gonna be doing hauls, try on hauls. I'm gonna be trying different things that I find on the internet. This is gonna be a lifestyle channel, so it's just gonna be a lot of fun and just more relaxed, and kind of like a getaway is what I'm hoping for. So please, 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 if you like this video, subscribe. All of my other socials will be at the end of this video, and I hope you guys have a great day.